Hello and welcome to Riding Shotgun. I'm Mike Neff. We have got a full show for you today. We're going to recap Saturday night's O'Reilly Auto Parts night at Myrtle Beach Speedway. But first, we have heavy hearts around the track this week. As many of you know, Justin Milliken, Terry Evans, Adam Fulford, and his son were involved in an incident on the way home from the track Friday night. Adam and his son were treated and released from the hospital, but Justin and Terry are still under professional care. We're going to try to give you an update later in the show, although it won't be much, but we want to let you know the latest on their condition. For now, we want to look back at Saturday night. Many of the drivers had heavy hearts as they got ready to race.
I guess whenever I first started racing the mini stocks, Terry was he was my main competition. And then I moved up to the late models, and Justin was right there with me. And we've traded a lot of paint on the racetrack, and we don't see eye to eye whenever our helmets are on. But it's like we're still part of the racing family, kind of like my brother, I guess, in a way. And it cuts deep to know that, man, they were out here driving hundreds of miles an hour next to concrete walls yesterday, and then on the way home, something like this happened. It really cuts deep, I guess. You know, I hate it. Me and Justin, we don't see eye to eye on the racetrack, like I said, but he's still a member of the racing family, so it hurts.
Yeah, I just hope that both of them will have a speedy recovery and where they can get back to the racetrack quick as they can. But most of all, we're dwelling on their health right now. I hope that they can pull through without any complications, and we are definitely praying for them.
Look for God. He's going to be the one to handle what he wants to handle. You know, it's a bad thing to happen. You never want it to happen to anybody, and especially when it comes to a racing family like ours. It's emotional, you know what I mean? But I wish him the best. Justin, you got to be strong for Terry, and Terry, you know, he's a strong individual. So the main thing right now is just let God do his thing, and they'll both be all right, hopefully.
Yeah, you know, it gives me chill bumps just thinking about those guys, what they're going through, and just feel for them, my heart's for them. We're competitors on the racetrack, but off the racetrack, we're all just a big family, and just hope both of them get better. I know how it is. They got families to support, and they got families that love them, and nobody ever wants to see anything like that happen. So our hearts and condolences are with them, and we'll be praying for healing for them and their families.
I'd probably say the funnest memory I've had of Justin, I'd say him dive bombing me a little bit, but it was all in good fun, and it ended up slingshotting me to my first victory. So, you know, props to him for driving me a little aggressive, but, you know, it's guys like that make racing a whole lot more fun for guys like me.
The car accident last night is a bad situation. You know, the biggest thing, first and foremost, is, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with him, Terry, everyone involved. You know, that's the main thing. You know, we all do this here for fun. You know, it's not for a living or anything. Everybody comes out here. You know, we race hard together, but, you know, both of us enjoy doing it just as much. You know, and, you know, it's different not having them here at the racetrack. We sure miss them here today. But like I said, first and foremost, our thoughts and prayers are with them, and, you know, hope for a speedy recovery and they can get back out here.
If they was here, or even if they ain't here, you know, they'd want us to be right here doing what we're doing today. So we're going to do the best we can for them, and our thoughts and prayers are with them.
While our hearts were with Justin and Terry, there was a race to be run on Saturday night. Let's look at a recap of the Whelen All-American Series late model races and see if anybody had anything for Lee Pulliam. Saturday night at Myrtle Beach Speedway was brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. We had a full pit road meet and greet before things got started, and everybody was feeling a little down because a couple of our local racers, Justin Milliken and Terry Evans, had a little incident leaving the track on Friday night. None was feeling worse than Mr. W.C. Bell, who was a sponsor of Justin Milliken's car. We did go racing, and it was Lee Pulliam that started on the Carolina Opry pole, started from the outside with Matt Cox and his inside. They threw the green, and a hammer went down, and it was Pulliam and Cody Haskins that took off to grab the lead early in the late model feature. Matt Cox started on the inside of the front row and drifted back early, but as the laps began to wind down, he turned up the wick, got alongside Colby Howard for third, cleared him, made a move on Cody Haskins for the second spot, and then set his sights on Lee Pulliam as he was trying to run down the leader. The racing was intense as the laps got closer to the end. Brian Voss ended up taking it 3 wide on the outside in 1 and 2 with Cody Haskins and Jeremy McDowell. Voss had to check it up to keep from getting wrecked into the outside wall. Remember that for later on, folks, because you may see that again. He eventually cleared him and set his sights on a 4th place finish. In the end, it was Lee Pulliam that pulled away from the rest of the field, and as he came to the checkered flag, he saw his 10th victory of the year here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. The final 4 included Lee Pulliam, Matt Cox, Jeremy McDowell, and Brian Voss. The second feature of the night saw a 10-car invert as Lee Pulliam had to start 10th after winning successive feature races this year. Chris Throckmorton started on the pole and grabbed the early lead, but the racing intensity was quick and furious as the front of the field as they went 4 wide coming by the flag stand, and it was the move of the race that saw Lee Pulliam go from 6th to 2nd in 1 lap as they went on the outside on the backstretch and cleared everyone. After Pulliam made that move, there was more intense racing near the front of the pack. They almost went 4 wide again coming out of turn number 4. Remember back to that previous highlight, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Voss took it on the outside of 3 wide in that race. He tried it again after seeing Pulliam do it in this race. It did not turn out quite the same for he and Chris Throckmorton. As you can see in the replay, they were 3 wide coming out of turn number 2. Bryant Barnhill on the bottom probably did not realize 2 cars were to his outside. As he came up, Voss was against the wall, had nowhere to go. Throckmorton ran out of room. It was just a racing deal. And in the end, Throckmorton's car got peeled open like a sardine can. Voss's car would not restart on the backstretch, but they ended up fixing it in the pits, and he rejoined the race later. 1 lap after the Voss-Throckmorton incident, you saw Lucas Williams get into it with Trevor Rizzo and collect Cody Haskins. Lucas Williams got out of the car and voiced his sheer gratitude at Trevor Rizzo's driving capabilities as he drove by the incident. They came back for the restart after that incident. It was Pulliam on the outside of Jeremy McDowell. McDowell did his best to keep him honest, but it was Lee Pulliam's night at Myrtle Beach Speedway. The surprising development of the night was a young Sam Mayer, 14 years old, his 2nd trip to Myrtle Beach Speedway. He and defending track champion Matt Cox dueled it out lap after lap for the 3rd and 4th spots, and in the end it was Mayer that grabbed that position. But nobody had anything for Lee Pulliam, who was truly emotional in victory lane after the race.
Justin Milliken and Terry Evans, and it's tough anytime you racing families hurt, and praying for the families and praying for healing, and we're competitors on the racetrack, but we're family off.
Yeah, I almost hit the wall at least 4 or 5 times. Me and the 51 were racing really hard for that 3rd spot, but I was just able to pull away due to lap traffic, but it was just a lot of fun, and we were able to hold on to it.
There you go. You going to come back and race with us again in a couple weeks?
Can't wait for it.
Top 4 in race number 2, Lee Pulliam, Jeremy McDowell, Sam Mayer, and Matt Cox.
It was some fantastic late model racing Saturday night. When we come back, we'll give you an update on Justin and Terry.
Riding Shotgun is brought to you by Daytona 1 Performance Lubricants, Performance and Beyond, Renegade Race Fuel, racers that win, pour it in, Hoosier Racing Tire, tires designed for champions, Bell & Bell Buick GMC, the official pace car and pace truck of Myrtle Beach Speedway, NASCAR Racing Experience, the true NASCAR driving experience here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. RacingJunk.com, world's #1 racing and performance classifieds. The Carolina Opry, the best Myrtle Beach shows, voted #1 every year. CarQuest Auto Parts, great people, great products, great prices. Shalot Electric Stores, the area's best choice for all your electric needs. And by Nopi Nationals Motorsports Super Show at Myrtle Beach Speedway, July 28th through the 30th.
Welcome back to Riding Shotgun. One of the true pleasures of coming to the racetrack each and every time that we race at Myrtle Beach Speedway is the guys from Raceway Ministries. They preach the good Lord's word to us both through the invocation before the race and an inspirational message that they give to us each and every week. The folks from Raceway Ministries do fantastic work both at the track and outside the track here in the Myrtle Beach Speedway area. This week we've got the pleasure of having Pastor Ron here to hopefully give us a little bit of an update on Justin and Terry's condition. How you doing today, Pastor Ron?
I'm doing good, real good. Beautiful day the Lord has given us. I just returned from the hospital visiting Justin and Terry, and I have some good news in that Justin has just met with his doctor, and it appears that with some physical training, and he'll be able to go home possibly as early as tomorrow, so he's progressing very well. With Terry, it's a different situation. He continues in a coma, and it is expected that he'll be in a coma for some time to come, but the good news is that the doctors say that all of his vital signs are just about where they should be, and that's a good thing, so we want to thank the good Lord for that. I've known both of these men. They've been an important part of the racetrack for a number of years. Justin came here as a rookie in 2003 and was awarded the Rookie of the Year recognition. He's been a good, clean racer. There have been a lot of memorable moments. He ended up being the track champion in the late model division, so he's had a real successful career here. I've learned as I've been here serving as chaplain that the racing family has close ties. You watch them on the racetrack and they're extremely competitive. But these two gentlemen that we're talking about here today are perfect gentlemen on the racetrack, and the other drivers have a lot of respect for them. One memorable occasion for me with Justin is that here just a couple of years ago, he was here with his newborn daughter and invited me over to have prayer with him at the race car with his team. And there was 4 generations of his family there during this time. That was just a very special occasion. I've watched Terry as he started here in the mini stock division. Then he moved up to the late models, and then from there he just 2 weeks ago he won the super truck race here. So they have a lot of history here at the track and are well respected. And the racing family is standing behind them and visiting yesterday and today. There's people in and out just continually showing their support for them. And we look forward to their return to the track. It just seems like something's missing when they're not here.
I know personal information can be a little bit sensitive, but what can you give us as far as what the extent of the injury is for Justin?
Well, as could be expected in a terrible accident like that, he has got a lot of scrapes and bruises. The most serious part has been injury around his spine. And the doctors this morning said that the MRI did not show any damage that would require a surgical procedure. What he will go through will be physical rehabilitation. He does have considerable pain, but that seems to be relenting some at this point in time. And so he is close to the possibility of being discharged and just dealing with physical therapy at home within the next day or so.
Well, that is fantastic news. As far as Terry goes, as you mentioned, he's a little bit more serious. Can you give us any more information about the nature of his injuries?
Well, Terry, unfortunately, was thrown from the automobile that they were riding in and has what some refer to as TBI, traumatic brain injury. He's had to have a portion of his skull removed to relieve pressure from the swelling of the brain. That seems to be under control. And the type of injury that Terry has is one that could take weeks and even months for full recovery.
From your personal opinion, what do you think would be best for people to send? Do people need food? Do they need money? Just encouragement? What do you feel is best for people that want to reach out and do something to help? Because so many people want to be helpful.
I'm sure that that's true. And in knowing both individuals and somewhat the circumstances, I think that Justin would just be thrilled if you would send him a card and let him know that you're thinking about him and that you care for him and that you're wishing him well in his recovery and his family. In Terry's situation, in a more serious injury, if some people have asked about perhaps helping him financially, I would only advise that if you do, you could contact the racetrack, and I'm sure that they'd be able to receive it. My feelings are that the drivers and all those that are involved here are going to want to participate in some support for Terry, and that information could be obtained through the track office. So I would encourage you, if you have that desire and want to help either of them financially, then if you could let the track management know that, then they could inform you of just exactly how that's going to take place.
If you are interested in adding financial support for Terry and Justin, please go to GoFundMe and look for the Racing Brotherhood for Terry page. You can also go to the Myrtle Beach Speedway Facebook page and go to a link there as well that will take you to the GoFundMe page. Anything that your heart can give, we appreciate. Pastor Ron, thank you so much for coming in today.
You're quite welcome. My pleasure. I just feel honored to be here on behalf of these two gentlemen.
We appreciate you being here. When we come back, we'll have more Riding Shotgun. The Nopi Nationals bring the heat wave to Myrtle Beach Speedway, July 28th through the 30th. A weekend of competition and fun. To register to participate or to purchase tickets, go to myrtlebeachspeedway.com, July 28th through the 30th.
Hi, I'm Jill, and I'll be checking you in today. This is good, what you're doing. Good luck, give me a high five. All right, what makes my job so awesome is the people.
Window nut's coming up. Have a great ride.
Can we get a little wave before we go? Bye-bye, see you when you get done. I get to ride alongside them as we make their dreams come true. Myrtle Beach Speedway's NASCAR racing experience brings in tourists, families, and thrill seekers from all over the world.
It was fantastic.
I was nervous at first, but after I did the first 2 laps, it was definitely really fun.
That was 10 times better than I thought it was going to be.
High fives all the way around. Good job, ladies. Good job, ladies. If you're in the Myrtle Beach Speedway area, stop on by. I guarantee you'll have the thrill of a lifetime.
Welcome back to Riding Shotgun. It is a very proud week for us here at Myrtle Beach Speedway as our owner, Robert Lutz, who also owns the NASCAR Racing Experience, had a huge announcement in Indianapolis prior to the Brickyard 400. Mr. Lutz has acquired the Richard Petty Racing Experience and is going to merge the operations of the two companies. Both of those companies are going to provide fans with the opportunity to drive formerly raced Cup cars all across the United States at more than 20 racetracks, including Daytona, Indianapolis, and Las Vegas. The operation is going to give fans the ultimate racing experience. If you would like to learn more, go to NASCARRacingExperience.com. As that announcement was taking place, the rest of the divisions at Myrtle Beach Speedway were getting ready for O'Reilly Auto Parts Night.
Vintage cars were on a track Saturday night. Michael Elliott had the old number 12 modified wound up and had an ignition problem that threw him to the back. He tried his best to chase down the 88 of Bob Walker, but he just ran out of laps, and it was Walker who grabbed the checkered flag for the vintage car. In the mini stocks, it was Brandon Clement starting on the pole in that familiar number 7. Doesn't come here all the time, but he was here this week. Ran away with the event. Mike Stafford tried to put the pressure on in that 6, but it was Clements who was in victory lane, giving a strong wave to the crowd. The Chargers were also on track Saturday night. Joe Armakovich and Willie Granger started on the front row, and it was Armakovich who grabbed the early lead, but Willie Granger, with some help from Armakovich in the setup department, kept him honest all night long. Stayed on that back bumper, but when the push came to shove at the very end of the race, it was Armakovich by about 4 car lengths taking another win in the Chargers. The top 4 for the Chargers were Joe Armakovich, Willie Granger, Brian Owens, and Tim Wright.
The schedule at Myrtle Beach Speedway in the upcoming weeks is very busy. Let's take a look. Our next race is August 12th. It's Bell and Bell night with twin late model features and a whole lot more. Car and truck buffs, the Nopi Nationals Summer Heat Wave is July 28th through the 30th. drag racing, burnouts, concerts, bikini competitions. It will be a wild time. And music fans, the Magpie Salute, featuring former members of the Black Crowes, including their lead singer, will play at the amphitheater here at Myrtle Beach Speedway on August 19th. Get your tickets at myrtlebeachspeedway.com. The Wheelin' All-American Series National Points Championship is heating up as they try to chase down that $25,000 first prize. As you know, last week, Trevor Huddleston knocked Lee Pulliam off of the top spot by 10 points. Huddleston was in action again this week, ran twin feature races at Kern County Raceway, and grabbed the checkered flag first in both of those races. Mitch Keeter, who's sitting third in the national points going into this weekend, ran modifies at Humboldt Speedway and took the victory in the only feature race that they ran. A guy to keep an eye on is Gord Shepard, who runs at Sunset Speedway up in Ontario, Canada. He has a few races to go before he has to start dropping points, and he grabbed the victory in one of the two feature races there this weekend. Also of note was Cress Van Dyke, who came into this week fourth in points. He ran 3 feature races this weekend, 1 at Kingsport, 2 at Lonesome Pine Raceway, and took the top spot in all 3 of them. As you saw earlier, Lee Pulliam grabbed the checkered flag first in both of the feature races here at Myrtle Beach Speedway this week. If you want to learn more about where your favorite driver is, head to NASCAR.com, go to the NASCAR home track section, click on Wheelin' All-American Series, and go to Division I standings. Pulliam is currently in the second spot, but looking to close ground on Trevor Huddleston. One other race to note this weekend, the Hampton Heat was run at Langley Speedway. It was Bobby McCarty besting a field of 31 cars to take the $10,000 first prize. When we come back, we're going to break it down. The Nopi Nationals bring the heat wave to Myrtle Beach Speedway, July 28th through the 30th. A weekend of competition and fun. To register to participate or to purchase tickets, go to myrtlebeachspeedway.com, July 28th through the 30th.
Our D180 is one of the best products you'll ever use. Just spray it on any greasy area, let it set for 2 seconds, then wipe it off. It's that easy. Folks, we're here at Myrtle Beach Speedway to show you how our products work, how easy they are to work. But there's no better place to test them than on a race car. Greasy fingerprints, no problem. As you can see, spray it on, give it a couple of seconds, and wipe it off. It is that easy. Just spray it on and let it set for a second. Then after it sets for a second, just wipe it off. So there goes the tire marks. It's that easy. You can use it around the house to clean your tools or clean just about anything. But as you can see, this gas cap is really, really dirty, greasy, and grimy. And what we want to do here is spray it on and wipe it clean. It's that easy. As you can see how effective the D180 degreaser is. Just spray it on, wipe it off. It's that easy.
Welcome back to Riding Shotgun. In this week's breakdown segment, we're going to talk a little bit more, like we tend to a lot on this show, about family. With the events that took place this week of Justin Milliken and Terry Evans being injured and ending up in a hospital after practice on Friday, it has really hit home for everybody here at Myrtle Beach Speedway how much of a family it is when it comes to racing. We get heated on the track every time we get out there. You saw it in some of the descriptions that some of the guys had about the racing before we started on Saturday night, how they were thinking about Terry and Justin. There were a couple of guys in there that don't see eye to eye with Justin and have traded paint numerous times on the racetrack. But when it comes down to a moment like this, we realize that everyone comes together and we're all a big racing family. Reach out to your loved ones across the country, in your own home, wherever it may be. Reach out to your racing friends. Let them know that you care about them. And yeah, we're after the top prize. We're after that checkered flag and that trophy. But in the end, this is all a big family sport and we're all out here having fun. So if you have a situation that comes up like this weekend, and we saw several of them across the country just this week of drivers having incidents, having things go on where they are now in a situation where they may be in need, whether it's in need of a hug, a handshake, a hot meal, whatever it may be, reach out to those people and reach out to your loved ones. Let them know you care, because it's a family sport. Racing cuts at the heart and cuts at the heartstrings. But most of all, it's all about having fun and loving your neighbor like you would love yourself. Justin and Terry, we are thinking about you guys. We want you to be back here at the track soon, racing with us, trying to get that big trophy here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. For now, that's going to put a wrap on another episode of Riding Shotgun. We will see you next week.